That's fine.
Yay, look, we're back.
Yeah, we're back. Technical difficulties. We're back again.
Will got a new toy.
That would have really
Well,
ruined
actually,
D&D
it's
for me.
Now they're critical misfits.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Ironbacks.
Yeah, we're talking about the Ironback village and
Whoa.
and how you all envisioned this tribe, because we really haven't talked a lot about the Ironbacks. We've talked a lot about the Blackfangs, we talked about the Moonjaws, but no Ironbacks. So, Connor.
So, yeah, I was thinking, and I feel like Shannon and I are on the same page because we were talking during technical difficulties. The Ironbacks are like the more crafty of the tribes that are left, so they're the ones doing a lot of the like clothing and housewares, like all of the ceramics, weapons making, weaving. Like they're the ones that are maintaining the villages as everyone travels around and like making sure that all the houses are in better repair.
Their backs are strong, hence the Ironbacks. They bear the weight of the civilization.
Yeah, totally.
Right?
Is that an
That is
appropriate...
like,
Cougar the
I
way to
love
the
that
youth.
we all have the same brain, you guys. Like, I literally have like the shit that Bill said written down somewhere, kind of like in different words about the other two tribes, and then like that, and then like you were thinking it, and clearly Will was kind of thinking it.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you build a world together.
Anything else?
Intimate details.
No, but now I really want to bind an Ironback style book. So you're coming soon in a later episode and probably a Patreon prize.
Coming soon on DVD and video.
I mean, why not? I
Oh,
like
fuck
doing
yeah.
it, and I
That
don't
sounds
want
amazing. Wait a second.
Once I'm done with it, I don't want it around.
Will, do you have anything to add to the Ironback conversation?
Yes. So I would say that they have, with that in mind, like the closest to a manicured, sculpted village as anywhere like else has been, but in a really strange sense. So like we've talked about how like the Moonjaws and the Blackfangs, like they have like these like, you know, huts and buildings and things that are very much like integrated into wherever we are, and almost like Ewok-y in some ways, like up in the trees, etc. Like a very sort of integrated into the forest, where I think the Ironbacks have this art, sort of like a like bonsai tree sort of element, in that they take the nature around them and it is very like crafted and sculpted. It still would look very much like a sort of natural landscape to anyone who's not like of the Kashar, of the orcs.
Right.
But as we come in, we start noticing like that bush shouldn't be there normal. Like there's a lot of these in a row, and like in oddly, like as you move through, like occasionally you catch a line of things that are lined up in a way that wouldn't be normally like nature, but from any other way, it doesn't look that way.
Are you putting them as more permanent residents and not?
I'm saying they have ways of sort of manipulating as they're there,
as
right?
they're traveling.
As
like
they're traveling and through.
So yeah, that's kind of what I was talking to. Like every time they go to a different village, like
Exactly, since they're the ones that set it up.
Yeah.
They're the one that's also creating the aesthetics as they go, and so
Very cultivated look.
we're in the most
Yeah.
like cutting edge of like the progression of Kashar like fashion in a way, on a village sort of sense, right?
when the Moonjaws or the Blackfangs come back, it's been sitting empty for a while, so
Things have gone a little more
not as
unnatural,
pretty.
but like it's like they're the ones that set the avenues, right?
Yeah.
And it's such interesting ways. They're the city planners,
Yeah.
as well as part of the industrial element, right? But like we're seeing it at its freshest point before it kind of goes a little more, like
again.
rogue,
more
right?
foresty.
And what I see also is that there are these very tall trees in the Kashar, like specifically like taller, wider trees like in this area, like, you know, that are interspersed amongst all the regular forest. And that is where, like, as we're getting a little closer, we see like these sort of like old knot holes that are up high, like going up into the fog bank from the clouds, where like just little tufts of like we see some sort of like steam and smoke coming up, where like the industry is housed in a way that is being filtered up through these trees. So like the air quality is good and is being taken care of for the industry, like to kind of integrate back into the
I
Kashar.
love that description.
Yeah. So they have a incredible, like rustic yet refined elegance inside of all of their creative pursuits. Yeah, both practical and otherwise.
Yeah.
It makes me think of like Miyazaki animation, like
Kinda what
clean
I'm talking about.
industry.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fisher, do you got anything?
I mean, my mind is still firmly on dwarven architecture, so I'm just picturing a whole bunch of like
Describe it from a dwarf's perspective.
rubbish. Where are my straight lines?
Yeah.
You were not seeing the sculpted things because it's just like, this is just bush.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, it is.
What's that?
Yeah.
I just got lots.
Yeah. So yeah, from Joy's perspective, it looks, not to be culturally insensitive to the orcs, but it looks exactly like the other village I've seen, just more not on fire.
You mean less on fire?
How
More not on fire.
how would you view, from a dwarven perspective, the orcish industry?
Industry. I look around and I look for all the auto hammers and I can't find any.
So non-existent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, not in like an intentionally like superior kind of way. Just, I'm a dwarf. I grew up, I spent my formative 100 years or whatever in a dwarven city.
Yeah.
So
Used to
you
the
call this a
dwarven
forge?
Yeah, I'm just like,
you sneer at my obsidian bladed, stone weighted.
no, see,
weapon.
that I see as beautiful and ingenuitive. Ingenuitive? Ingenious, thank you.
Like that's
If you don't
industry
have
that I
black
learned
lung, you're not
for-
doing your job.
Pretty much.
Man,
They said coughing.
Yeah.
sound like produce department at New Season.
If you don't have a broke back, you're not working.
Kind of.
I know, it's the worst.
Yeah. It's kind of, blessing and the curse.
Mm-hmm.
What you got?
I've just been like kind of like wrapped up in everything everybody's been saying, and I feel it.
Yeah. I mean, I can.
Not to punk out on.
I can kind of mirror what Ashleen said in the sense that like it sounded like we were all weirdly on the same page before we even spoke.
I would say maybe there are like kind of mineralic piles a little bit. Like everything's like in nature, and like, but then there's these little things that are like a little lined up but then not lined up, right? Like I think that there may be sort of the semblance of like, not like storehouses by any means, because it's a migratory tribe, but when they come into a space, they've got to have their materials kind of like, I mean, you don't see it once they leave, but it's kind of akin to like a stack of wood or something, or a stack of a certain kind of stone or whatever. Like you kind of see those little collections where you wouldn't after they've passed through, because they need those. They keep that equipment
with them
to do what they need to do. So like I would imagine when they first get somewhere, they do a lot of gathering and kind of assessing what they're working with according to the train.
Yeah.
And so you kind of see evidence of that if you're looking.
Okay. Interesting.
And I love that this is kind of from every character's perspective too. If you like think about how we
that's
all
true.
responded
Yeah.
to this.
Yeah.
Honest.
Character's giant fucking nerd.
Sorry, keep going. I didn't mean to.
No, that
I just
makes
love
sense.
all of you.
But I was just thinking like in terms of like the leave no trace, element of the orcs.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, well, these orcs have a brief moment of sort of reorganizing nature. Like they're not necessarily affecting it terribly much, they do it as sustainably as possible, but there is a little bit more evidence of like kind of like organizing things into raw materials.
Okay. Interesting. Ashleen?
Right, and so when Keth like kind of walks in, he doesn't spend much time with Ironbacks because as a monk, he doesn't really believe in materialistic value. And the Ironbacks, being more artsy and the more craftsmen in trade, they value their things, and as such, they like kind of have like a system that's more based off of like accumulated wealth than the other orc tribes, which is something that Keth can't relate to. And so you see a lot more like flamboyant like outfits, and you see more like intricately like carved things that are like unnecessarily like dressed up. Whereas like when you're in the Blackfang village, you'd see something more simple.
Right. You
And
see
even
what is
like
necessary.
exactly.
And not what is extravagant.
And it's even down to like appearances. Like they dress themselves up a lot more, and you see a lot of tusks are carved like with intricate symbols, which you don't see in the other villages. But they're beautiful. They're beautiful, but you know how painful it must be to have that done.
Yeah.
But it's such like a point of vanity for the Ironbacks that like complimenting their tusks is something that just like makes them peacock.
Yeah.
So I get that they're way more like peacock-like and vain,
Not
willing
that Keth has anything against them, he just can't relate to them.
willing to strut their stuff, and also perhaps maybe on an arrogant level think that they're in a way just a little bit more cultured.
Oh yes, definitely.
the
They're
rest
the
of
more
the-
refined of the orcs.
They probably handle most of the trade.
Aaron also notices, also in noticing the gathering of raw materials, that they, because of that practice, they kind of get this like byproduct, this like mineralic byproduct that like is pretty commonly found, but they collect it like they collect everything else, and they smoke it as kind of a very mild stimulant, like how we drink coffee.
Oh.
But that's something that the other orcs don't do. Like, but they're like constantly like kind of like, you know, smoking this like mild stimulant that like kind of, you
That
know,
sounds
just
like
puts a little pep in
every
their step.
These orcs sound like my kind of
army
people.
crafter I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, give me the stimulants so I can make the things.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or so I should, and you know, coffee is in a way like a stimulant in the sense that it allows you to focus a little bit more on the minute details.
And
Yeah,
other
that's what
orcs know it
stimulants do.
exists, and it's like around, but
Right.
like they just don't, right?
Yeah.
But the ironbacks, or they kind of like it's like commonplace, like
Yeah,
you
plus,
know.
Plus, for the same reason that since they're the tradesmen and the crafters, they're the probably ones who handle most of the trade with the outside world,
Right.
and that you see more things from outside of the Kashar than you would normally, because they're the ones who were like always doing that, going out with their trades
Yeah.
and crafts, right?
That's cool.
Yeah.
So
For a half second, I feel like we just described the Mumbari from Babylon 5.
I've never seen Babylon 5. but
in
fuck yeah.
that they have the warrior caste, the spiritual like priest caste, and the worker caste as like the three like pieces of people that born.
Well,
into the
these are
culture.
just the three
Anyway.
pieces that survived.
Yeah, no, I'm
You
curious.
know?
It's intriguing. Anyway, like
Yeah.
random like sci-fi
So
nerd
good.
pop culture reference, but like we'll chat about later.
Also,
yeah. That's awesome.
random nerd, reference is that for me, because I've been thinking so much about Legend of the Five Rings, this is basically combining the Crane clan and the Unicorn clan all into one.
Unicorns.
Yeah.
Unicorns.
yeah,
Cranicorns?
Cranicorns.
The-
Oh, I love that you guys looked at each other
the
and
the
said that.
dedicated to culture, dedicated to politics, dedicated to connecting to the outside world, and then also doing a lot of the trading towards the outside world.
Everybody want to get a cranicorn tattoo before I leave.
Cranicorn done.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay,
I'm
Great.
down.
on
Fuck it, let's
three.
do it.
2, 3.
Shannon pays for it.
Cranicorn.
And for our 1,000th Instagram like, you too can get a cranicorn.
Oh god.
All on
You
Shannon's
still have to
time.
pay, you have to pay for it yourself, but we'll allow you to get it.
I imagine sort of a silvery crane with like a very very rainbowy swirl horn.
For
Cranicorn.
creature on challenge rating 120, we will get your name tattooed
Holding-
on our ankle.
Maybe
We will never
another
ever
day.
get anybody's name tattooed anywhere on any of our bodies.
Thank you.
So my
Rules.
last
Okay.
detail, which just kind of goes right along with what everyone's just said, is that maybe sort of lost in the sort of like slog of history is the fact that one of the reasons why they were called the Ironback is because they were the tribes that when they nomadically moved from point to point, that they are carrying the most things.
Mm-hmm.
And so many of their sort of their strongest and more able-bodied of all of their tribal members are kind of have a little hunch going on.
Mm-hmm.
And as such, that's kind of where their tribal name came from.
Cool. Dig it.
All right, so yeah.
As we approach the village, I turn to Kathkin and say, "So, I've been curious of this since I've entered. Why are your people nomadic? You seem to have functional villages. Why do you move?"
For many years, Falstein and the generals decided that they were going to try and take different excursions into the Kashar Forest to find us. And as a result, we found it necessary to keep moving. Otherwise, we were worried that a contingent of them might find us. I mean,
Okay.
you traveled through the Kashar. You know that it is an unruly place, but
Yes.
it's also... you can survive if you try for long enough. Definitely, whenever we would be attacked, by the time they got to us, there would be very few soldiers left.
Mm-hmm.
But as a result, we
Okay.
decided it was like a, what do we call them again? Doth Baron
Cash.
Kesha's.
Oh.
No,
The Doth Baron Kesha's decided as a unit that that keeping moving around would keep Faustine from finding us easily. And you can even see evidence of them trying to track our location from the deadened land around the Kashar Forest.
I feel like, I mean, this is something for another time for us to, I think, like, play around with some interesting ideas, but, like, I think there might be some really interesting, like, orcish myths, or perhaps some really interesting storylines about the soldiers that were either conned into going into the Kashar to go hunt them down, knowing that they'd never be able to escape, kind of going, like, slowly insane before they die in the Kashar. Or, like, also the orcs being, like, you know, these soldiers coming out of the mist, right, who are desperate now because they've been trapped forever. Or people who are, like, the volunteers, like, knowing they would never get out of the Kashar when, like,
and I will.
And I'm going to kill.
Yeah.
Right, like, the really, like, like, the things we might run into occasionally, or, like, might have been back, like, within the first few years, right?
Yeah.
That could be some interesting stories to think about later. But just a
We could do a whole
Not to mention
nother
hordes of shambling
campaign
servants,
based on
like...
So
Yeah.
as Keth and Joy are having that conversation, you're going into an area in which sort of at first you're sort of, wait a minute, this place is completely empty and barren. But then you realize, oh right, they have that hallucinatory terrain sort of cast around their village, and you get past that barrier, and suddenly you're in an area of sort of pristine natural opulence, where again some of the things are just like perfectly rode in and manicured, but the thing that you notice almost immediately is there are no orcs
At all? Are there blobby things?
Ghost Town also no.
Well, that's good.
No, it's not.
Do we have the season correct?
do we notice the stuff that they would have taken with them still there, or
Yeah, does
was all
it
that
seem
stuff
like they
gone?
were mid-work or...
Good question. You inspect a little further, push further into the village, and you realize that they have taken all of the things that they would normally take.
They've just pushed on forward.
So someone told them to move, or they just moved anyway.
You know that all three of the tribes have have magical connections where they can communicate to each other. So it's far more likely that they caught word from Blackfang that something happened with Moonjaw, and they decided to move on as a just in case measure.
Okay.
Good.
That's a very, very plausible theory.
Okay.
Okay.
Can we check, because like we found like storage caches before. You've told us about spots where we like know that things are sort of left behind, especially for those like the first village we happened upon, right? When we first got
like
here.
we leave provisions and stuff for
Yeah.
people who might come, or honestly we leave stuff for wandering orcs more than anything, but we wouldn't tell them that's what it's there for, but it's there for all orcs, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some nice
Should we-
magical
So
armor
I'm
and
like,
black leather.
I wonder if
Should
we can
we
check
return
that.
it to them?
Hmm?
Should we return their supplies to them?
The cash?
No, they'll come back around. There's like they like stock the villages for people who like might come across it, or orcs who might come across it.
Mhm.
But I'm wondering if we should check that location.
It's like our nation still
Um,
feeding its nation, even though they're not part of our tribes.
Okay.
Or for those who are like lost and need
Yeah.
to find their way home. Like I wonder if we should check that to see if like they've like left anything behind for us. It might be told that like we're kind of coming around for people to see if they've left either like notes, messages, supplies that could be really handy for us. Before or just restock whatever we
Yeah,
need before
totally.
we head back out to go deal with it.
I go check the cache area.
I mean, there might be like devil's fingers. There might be like a note. There might be something.
Yeah.
I would like to find some javelins.
I will be following Keth, because I'm just, dwarven cities are literally carved into stone. So like the whole nomadic, the
Opposite
whole
of what you
nomadic
do.
thing is
Yeah.
so alien to me, and I'm
You like
just
honestly
very
can't really
curious.
see our buildings till we're like in them. You're like, what?
Yeah, I'm like,
Is this a building?
It's made out of.
So
like I'm both a little bit confused, and also my mind's like,
So Keth almost instinctively you sort of ferret out the cache
Send the ferret with you.
that they would leave for orcs. But yeah, and just like sort of time kind of like predicted and steered you towards, this cache has very interesting things that they wouldn't leave for just any wandering orc, and that would be a series of weapons, specifically many arrows,
Oh yeah.
a total of 60, a series of clubs about
That's
4
right, 60 on here.
obsidian daggers,
Ooh.
um,
I can't.
and a number of javelins, probably
So many
totaling
arrows.
20,
20 javelins.
and a sack that has a fragile like jingle that is holds these sort of like obsidian vials.
I just wrote down fragile jingle sack.
Fragile jingle sack.
How did you know I call it that?
It was like after I wrote it, it cracked me up.
I like hit you.
as you handle your fragile jingle sack,
Yes.
it's both beautiful and terrible. But regardless of that, there are a number of sort of obsidian sort of vials that have a number of potions in them. And this doesn't take long to identify them as potions. There are
Because they're labeled
isn't
really
Fallout.
lovely for us. I
Yeah.
mean, that's what I'm imagining why it doesn't take
Health potion.
I
D10.
can read Orcish.
oh my god. There's only 1 cure wounds.
I'll take that.
Yeah.
I can apply it the best.
Yeah.
Does it work for you that way? That's cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
There is.
Anytime I heal somebody,
I don't think that's true.
right?
No.
Isn't it?
No, that's
life
because
better?
it's from an external source that's already been enchanted.
Oh.
So there are 4 potions of greater healing.
Oh, well, I'll take that. That sounds fun. Not take it.
Mm-hmm. You will
gonna
accept
take
it.
Write it on your items.
And there are 3 potions of superior healing.
Oh, shoot.
I shouldn't take anything because.
Except the 60 arrows.
Oh, I did.
They're already gone.
Yes.
What arrows?
Can I have an
What
obsidian?
is-
I don't really need a dagger, I guess. It
Take a
sounds fun.
dagger.
I want an obsidian dagger.
Do it.
Well, there's 5 of us. Can you have? Why can't you have an obsidian dagger?
I can't have anything
can't
because
fight.
I'm leaving.
Oh,
Don't. Yeah.
I'll
Well, that's kind of meta. I mean, take what you need.
yeah.
yeah. Take a dagger.
I mean, Farron would want an obsidian dagger.
well, you
It's
lost
cool.
your other dagger, so now you have an obsidian
did?
one. That means that. Yeah. Remember all of our
And-
metal melted.
Yeah, I
Bird
would like
wants
that,
a
please.
pair of obsidian daggers, but already has one. that they
Does
made
it have the same
themselves.
stats?
So it'd be nice to have 2.
You can have. You can have
Yeah, go
both
for
of
it.
them. I don't need a dagger.
No, I already have one, and there's 4.
Bill, does
So
an
that means
obsidian
everyone
dagger have
gets
the
one.
same stats as
Oh.
a regular
Yeah.
dagger?
Yes, it
Yeah.
does. But if
So you
you
get to-
roll a natural 1, it breaks.
Yeah, because I
Okay.
already had one. So plus, yeah.
There's also a few other potions, and given a little bit of time, you identify them as there's 1 potion of flying.
One flat.
There is
I
one
vote
potion
the ranger gets that.
I'll need
of,
that
of
because I can't.
there's
you
1
can't fly.
potion
Yes.
of
I mean,
giant
nobody
strength,
can, right?
specifically hill giant. That's
Dibs.
20, so that's 21 strength.
Ooh.
And
There's a potion of diminution, so it's smaller.
immune. Oh, I can spell out loud again.
I'll be honest, guys. I really don't think I need that potion.
Are you sure?
We could fit you into really small spaces.
Yeah, you get
It doesn't take
one.
much. There's not a lot of muscle left on these old bones.
And there
Oh,
is
it's
a
bones,
potion
bones.
of invulnerability.
And
I'm gonna hand that to
ability.
That's a real good jingle sack, guys.
It's the jingliest.
Jingle sack.
Some say the most jingly.
Let's get
Mhm.
jingle
The
sack,
jingliest.
jingle sack.
Any notes for us?
Any armory typey things?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Orcs don't really seem to wear armor. I was really hoping for like a leather strap that just gives 2 to me.
I'll get on
Make
that.
one.
It's just like a share if I could turn back time, but just plus 2 days.
Turn back
I
time.
was thinking more of like sashy strap.
Right.
A Jesus strap.
No.
That is the and then aside from that, there's the normal what you would find in a normal orc survival cache: food, water, so on and so forth.
So sorry, no note or
No note.
Okay.
Can I check how long this water's been here?
Yeah. Well, how would you check that?
Probably just survival.
Okay. Yeah. Roll a
Survival
survival check.
check.
Totally inappropriate.
No,
Shit, 9.
I
I have no idea.
It's
9.
water.
Well, here's what you know just from a 9 is that it's not stagnant.
Okay.
Yeah. It's relatively fresh.
Okay. So it's probably been here less than like a week or so.
Yeah, there's not like any sediment that's built up at the bottom of it.
Yeah, it's not dusty.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
One would hope that you cover your water. So you get dusty.
One would hope.
Well, the water
Outside
in
of
the
the jug.
Yeah. Or the water just the dust on the inside of the thing is already settled to it.
I'm
tested by taking
I'm
a
open to
swig.
anything you wish to accomplish inside of this ghost town of a village.
So-
I guess we can kind of move on.
I want to check out the library really. See how.
It's actually
I steal
night
my
and
library?
day compared to the two.
Thought so.
Yeah.
Well, you should have. Well, wouldn't we have been to this village though if we traveled around in the 5 years?
Yeah.
Not yet.
I'm gonna say no.
Oh wow.
We've been doing other stuff.
I've also been teaching people how to do it properly. Though.
The Kashar is a big place.
The third decimal system.
Yeah.
Now that's a good reference.
We call it the Ergforgel. It's Welsh for librarian.
Yeah.
It's a cold day, kind of chilly.
I'm gonna. Is there like a central fire pit,
Also true.
like gathering point fire pit thing?
Sure.
Okay. I'm gonna do my damnedest to start a little roasty toasty boy.
Yeah.
Roasty toasty.
Yeah. You
Heat up these bones.
Mm-hmm.
you succeed.
Was there anything special or new in the
Hey,
library?
critical.
Stop.
Or was it
Wait,
just
that-
You're fine.
everything
make
I
an
would have
awesome
expected
fucking
to
fire.
say?
How's that?
Roll an
Potions?
investigation check.
Investigation. I suck at.
You have so many arrows now.
Nobody else.
Oh,
I mean, I can shoot
22.
5 at once. Like Xenomorph
You
princess style.
investigate the fuck out of that.
I should.
I love
Shut
when
up.
it's something that I really want to know about. I'm like, yes, I got this.
That's what
Battle?
I'm saving my
No.
fortunes for if I can.
I don't know. You need a chakram. That'd be fucking cool.
Oh!
yes.
I don't
That was a
need
visceral
that.
fucking reaction.
No, I
Please
could've
roll
forgot that they
a
exist.
d6.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Roll
It's like those two things stuck together,
Roll
but
it.
better.
D6.
6.
Awesome.
I'm gonna get
Probably.
Not of.
very good fashion.
What are we looking for again?
If there are any like unusual
Maybe
books or
Mickey's
scrolls
done one.
out of
Maybe
the
he's done
normal,
one. Yeah.
what should have been here?
Yeah.
So
Cool.
But I mean,
you were
Maybe
thumbing
they
through the
roll- they
books
roll well.
and grab your character sheet real quick. So,
plants.
you were thumbing through the books and you find a book that is in a very, very ancient High Elvish dialect.
Ooh.
The kind of ancient High Elvish dialect that even you have trouble kind of
The ones that I have to sound
sussing out.
out, like,
Yeah,
write down.
yes,
like,
absolutely.
translate as I read.
Are you a high elf?
Mhm.
I can
And
assist you.
Really old high elf.
and you
Yeah.
you
I'm
get
not that
to
old.
that
To an
book
orc you are.
and you pull it
Whatever.
open and you begin to read it. Now, this is one of those books where you get the sense that it is, if you boil it down to, it's sort of a how-to manual, but it's worded in the sense of very, very deep and self-examinatory questions that one asks themselves. And if someone reading the book you kind of realize doesn't answer the questions, then the book's kind of useless, right?
Yeah.
But if one answers these questions in an authentic manner and delves deep into who they are as a person, then you realize that it can kind of unlock a little bit more potential from that person in the way that they speak to people, in the way they relate to themselves, and in the way that they can kind of interact with people, both on an integrity level and a not so integrity level, as in deception, diplomacy,
better
that kind
words.
of thing. Yeah. So in essence,
friends
if
easier.
you
That's cool.
read this book
No, Ferg's gonna read the shit out of the book
for
twice.
48 hours straight,
That's
then-
a casual Thursday.
Yeah, that sounds like Ferg's
Yeah,
all
that's
over
a
this.
casual
Thursday
camping
and Friday.
then your charisma goes up by 2 permanently.
Oh fuck yeah!
Oh,
And the maximum, I believe.
Let me.
yeah.
Yes, and your maximum also goes up by 2, which means normally your maximum on a not magical level is 20. So your maximum would go up to 22.
Does anybody need good charisma for stuff?
I mean, I would read the book simply because I'm a scholar. So.
Well, I mean, to be fair, Ferg is the one that found this, so I'm going to
totally.
let Ferg kind of.
I meant
Only
more
one
like,
person
does
gets to read the
anybody
book.
like cast spells with charisma or anything like that?
Okay.
I don't
We
want
don't have-
charisma. I
No
don't
bards or warlocks in the
Yeah.
crowd.
Yeah.
Or sorcerers.
Oh, that's who. I was like, somebody needed it before. It was.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, Ferg is gonna be like, hey y'all, I found this really cool book that's really, really hard to read, but I think it means I can talk to people better. And like,
Word's good.
maybe not write out so hard when I don't need to. And also maybe be able to like work with Farron to like get us into the higher echelons of society.
Fuck yeah.
Slash demand air price.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna tell anyone that, but
That's how you talk to people.
yeah.
That was a good laugh.
So can we
Yeah.
like chill here
Tongue
for 2
skills.
days before we go back to the Blackfangs?
I unfortunately feel like time is of the essence. I feel like you should definitely read that book.
That was a drinking
that was worth it.
Also unattended.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can
Well,
read
I-
and walk, so that's totally
I'm
fine.
also less than comfortable with staying in some place for so long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet,
I
reading
think
and
we need to
walking
get
it
to
is.
cracks.
Yeah. Like, no offense, I agree. You should definitely study that book. But yeah, I do not think we have the time currently.
So are we not going to go to the Nomies?
The Nomies are outside of the Kashar, right?
Kind of.
Yeah,
Call
they're
No,
them
not
that.
kind of. They are.
Yeah.
And also, like,
I guess they'd be pretty mad if I just stole compasses from them for y'all.
yeah.
I
Are
don't
we
think
gonna
work
go
for you
to
either.
straight to Cracks, or are we gonna go talk to Zeph about
Well, we wanted to get that dagger.
his dagger?
We need the dagger, I think.
And
Oh, if you wanna
y'all
get
might
the
want to
dagger.
check on your kid.
Oh, yeah, you have a kid.
So-
I forgot.
we talked to you actually about our theory about this. There's this dwarven relic dagger, and it goes with my lovely dwarven belt. Chris, you can tell me anything about it later. We think that perhaps
Almost certainly.
we may be able to like do these. Do you know if the dwarven cities had like keys that like granted your people entrance, and that perhaps this dagger may be a key?
I know that they are select in who they allow in, but I don't know by what manner.
You think we can summon griffins with the dagger and a belt?
Are there still griffins?
I don't know. You're the dwarf.
There are very much still griffins. They're just few and far between.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
They're
I'm riding a griffin. I don't care.
I really
They're-
want us to go talk to her.
they're basically relegated to a select company.
Have your chance
You know,
I have not been.
all the time.
I've not been around as many dwarves as I would have liked in the last couple of years. So
couple of years or like
a
a
couple
couple
of
of
years to
centuries.
yeah. Even
you know,
even
I'm
even
very-
still, you would have known that there are still griffin right.
I would like
They
to know.
just don't. They don't kind of go out in the world.
They're a little bit.
well, no, I hear rumors of them being extinct, and I hear rumors of them winning battles. So
As a dwarf,
Never
you know
quite
those
sure which
rumors
is-
are bunk, for sure.
Both? No, they don't win any battles.
But they're definitely
They
not
don't fight any
extinct.
battles.
Exactly.
Oh, by the way,
Nobody
I was
fucks
just
with
when
them.
you were looking through those books in my mind, I'm like, I'm gonna give him a magic item if he rolls a 20.
Sweet.
Yeah,
Rolling
That was-
20s for
pretty much magic.
magic. Yeah.
Yeah, so just wanted to put that out there.
Thanks.
You hadn't planned on giving either that or the sack of things like in the store cash, had you?
No, but those the cash actually was a really great idea, and I just kind of went with that.
Yeah.
The sort of book looking at was like, okay, yeah, I'll give D something if you roll a 20.
They're the outside traders. They would be the most likely
That's
to have that
exactly
kind of thing.
what that's exactly where my decision making was coming from. So
And
yeah.
Ferg should be more charismatic and less.
Yeah.
Just pay me what I'm worth.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to get on my level. Charismatic for no
Yeah.
reason.
All right, where were we? We got
You guys
a little
get paid
derailed.
for
Using upstairs.
What's that? Yep, the
Yeah.
bathroom upstairs.
So we checked cash, library. Is there anything else we want to do at the city before you go? Is there anything you want to do here before we go head toward the Blackfang?
I can't think of anything.
Yeah.
Okay.
No. Yeah, because there's no
Yes.
like orcs to talk to or anything like that. So
I mean, I would just. It sounds like they've packed up and left. It's like a pretty clean situation. So I don't feel like there's anything to really, other than what we found. Like,
are we doing like a panic level thing where like the nation's amassing together, or is it like they just moved on? Like, what is in
I'm
Keth's
not going to
opinion?
answer you.
Can I roll an insight check, like to see what Keth thinks would be happening?
Well, is there like a orc not message board, but some method of like messaging or leaving behind notes
Bill
for
was just
people?
saying that we're like all connected, like we can message each other.
Yes.
Well,
In a way.
the tribes can.
The tribes can.
Individuals.
the tribes can. No, but I'm meaning like in terms of like when a tribe like pieces out of a village, like do they leave any sort of like secret code or message or some or series of runes for those who are wandering, perhaps to give them direction or like to tell them anything about that? I just don't
You
know.
find nothing of the sort like that. But I mean, just to go back to what you were saying, like you would know that if the Ironbacks did peace out, that they would, before they did, send a message to the remaining tribes and say like, hey, this is what we're doing. It only goes to one select person, and I think you can kind of guess who that person is really. So and then that person basically receives the message, and then to answer your question, why don't you roll that insight check?
Okay.
Nice.
Insight wisdom.
Yeah,
Yes.
insight's wisdom. Yeah.
That is a 19.
That would be your more educated guess, is that, in a very, especially from the Ironback's perspective, in a very strategic and slow and steady wins the race, you're imagining that they're sort of heading towards maybe where the Blackfang are.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you'd want to go towards the tribe that can theoretically protect you, right?
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
That's kind of why I was thinking that Keth might think that. Cool. Yeah, so I kind of shared that with them. Like, you might get to meet them after all. Like, I think that our nation's amassing right now.
Yeah.
Let's amass.
Before you go to
And I said R to you guys intentionally.
Before you go up to use the bathroom, I would like everybody to roll a d20 and let me know if you roll a 5 or below.
Nope.
God damn it. This is going to be bad, isn't it?
I'm good.
I already used my inspiration. You're good.
5 or below.
I got a 4.
Of course you did.
Yeah.
What'd you get?
18.
And what'd you get, Shanna?
19.
19.
Cool. So no 5 or belows except for Ashleen. So go ahead and use the bathroom, and we'll be.
And then we'll plot for you while
Yeah.
you're
What are you going to do? What are you guys going to do to me while I'm
really
up
good
there?
question.
We'll find out. I do want to say, like on a thematic level, from what I asked, like I would say we didn't find anything for them because we don't know the markings for this particular tribe. But I imagine each tribe, like for their people, when they move on, especially if it's like a less expected, like there's got to be something that each tribe has decided to do, because like if their people are outranging, right, or doing something and they have to go, they've got to like leave something behind, be like, hey, head to site alpha, right, something like that. Like it's we don't know this because we have never interacted with them, we don't know their method, but I imagine every tribe has something like the with the guerrilla nature of the tribes having to like piece out potentially at a moment's notice. I feel like that's something that would be like integrated in. So for now, we got nothing on this, but like something in the future that might be like tribes would have. Like if we came on the Blackfang, we might know where they have gone if they had peace out randomly.
Yeah.
And before we move on, can I search the village for any signs of people being there between the orcs and us?
I like that. Anything else coming in after? Something oozy.
Go ahead and
Something with 2 feet.
I would say either survival or investigation. I would choose.
3 feet. You missed it.
25.
Yeah, 20? That's
Yes, there are signs.
Okay. Can I?
I'm sorry. Wait. Say the question one more time. You were looking for what?
I'm looking for signs that something. Basically, seeing if there are signs that other two-footed creatures have been here since. So, like between the orcs departing and us arriving.
You want to know if you're friends?
Either my friends or some other people.
Yeah.
My unfriends.
I will say there is very little evidence, but there still is evidence of that.
Okay, evidence as in maybe somebody did, or evidence as in little evidence as in very few people did.
Very few people.
Okay. Wasn't one of them named Lucy?
I don't think you can read names from footprints.
You guys texting under the table.
Yeah, no.
Passing notes.
We're just plotting things. We'll let you know later.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
On your way back,
Oh, question.
answer.
Can I read and walk at this book?
No, definitely not. You have to have like full study
Sit
time,
down.
especially from the level of ancient High Elvish dialect this is. Yeah. You have to have it's got to have your full attention.
This is like a self-help book.
It is like a self-help book.
actually.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
But it's ancient and magical.
Has Ferg or
It's Sun Tzu.
has Ferg or rather I guess has
The Art
Time
of Charm.
ever heard of one of these types of books, these things that can kind of like teach you deeper wisdom?
Yes.
I'm sure we
They're
both
few and
have.
far between, and you also know that once these books get
That's what I was asking about.
fully
If she knew that piece.
read and sort of absorbed, they tend to become inert for like 100 years or something. It's actually ridiculous.
Which I am actually going to hold
I'll
to.
just
That
read
is
it
100
later.
years in Terra years. So like 800.
Evie's here.
Evie.
Evie!
Hi.
We wait for you all night long.
You missed
We
all the
really
good
do.
stuff.
Yeah.
No, I got a book that if I read for 2 days, I am going to be super charming.
Evie, I'm
Also,
sitting over here now.
I showed up.
Also, Fisher's here.
Fisher's here.
Yeah.
Also, Keth's not a half blobtar anymore.
Yes.
Yay.
Because of
Third
what?
blob. Or did it all go away?
It all went away.
It all went away
Nice.
after
Yeah.
several lesser
cool.
restorations cast by
Days of lesser
yep.
restoration.
Oh, yes.
That was the action movie, right?
Days.
I feel like
It's basically like physical therapy where you like have to do a little bit more every day.
I like to believe that you took like each part of their body and like squeezed it out like a
Oh.
towel.
I got blobtar on my
Guys,
face.
how do you get rid of like you gotta drain that mess?
It's true. And I did say that blobtars hit like a sack of moldy
Alright, what y'all do
oranges.
to me?
So.
Oh, you're
Evie's
dead.
here.
You're so
well,
dead.
Evie's
Can
in
you,
the
get the
chat
door?
room, so
Oh, I thought
Here?
you meant like here. I was like, where?
well, I mean,
Where do you think?
here.
The door.
Getting
You want me
weird.
to actually shut the door? Are
Also,
you guys
I like to believe that the tome, like, it's 100 years Terra
I'm
years,
lame.
so it's like straight up 800 years, like Earth
So
years.
is it? Do we just have?
Yeah.
Because why not?
I mean, to have a.
exactly.
So are,
100 right?
are we just further from
Oh
the
my
sun?
god, she's like, you're all missing out on my beer
yes.
and ice cream.
Okay.
Because we live in a binary
What?
star system. So in order for that to be a stable system,
got
I have so much ice cream at home.
Calculate
I need some ice cream.
We got whiskey, and we just found a secret orc cache filled with lots
Lots
of
of pots.
hardtack. No, that's not. That's not. Yeah,
Arrows.
your floats are better.
We got
Sorry.
MRAs. MREs.
arrows.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Not
let's
MRAs.
let's move
MRAs
on.
are way worse.
Fragile jingle
Let's
sacks.
move on. So it takes you about 6 days to travel back to the Blackfang village. Inside of that 6 days, the first 5 days, honestly, pretty
Oh, I ruined it.
pretty
That's
low,
before.
pretty even keel. Not so, really not a peep out of the Kashar Forest. Mostly due to Faren's sort of redirecting out of a few sticky
You're
situations.
welcome.
Oh, and every night before we go to sleep, I bless us all.
Yes.
Not an actual spell, just the,
A little bit of both.
vapor.
You're all blessed until I fall asleep, which, as an old man, takes forever.
Fern is like okay with it, but sometimes slightly leery.
So
It keeps the nightmares away.
So the 6th day, you see a brace of folks heading towards you in the wilderness.
So 2 people.
A brace is more than 2 people.
Nope, a brace is 2.
Really?
We see a battalion.
Bet you money.
This conversation is abrasive.
Hey Siri, how many people is a brace?
Ask Siri how many rabbits are in a brace.
Hey Siri, how many rabbits are in a brace? This podcast is brought to you by Apple. No, I was kidding. Oh,
Okay,
good Lord.
okay, we're moving.
Yeah,
A brace of rabbits is two,
We're
though. I
moving
know
on.
what you're talking about. Like two rabbits strung together.
Yeah.
Okay, so I digress. Let's say a very specific number, which is 9.
Okay.
9 people
So
And
4.5
other people.
braces.
heading
Exactly.
towards you, one of which you quickly realize is Michaux.
I'm like, Michaux!
Oh, that's right. You know Michaux.
And-
sort of.
Michaux has his hand up. And
Do I take this as a greeting or as a warning?
a greeting.
Okay. I'm like, yo, what's up?
Yeah.
And tap my special armor.
Stoic face.
Berg yells, what the fuck was up with the arrows?
Wait, are we passing them?
We're going towards them.
You're going towards them.
Are they like? Do they look
Heading-
aggressive?
No.
All right, I'm gonna hurry up to
So-
intercept them and see if Black Diamond is still there.
You've passed because I'm
Okay.
I'm the lead.
So I want to be really clear.
Yeah.
The 9 people total.
Mm-hmm.
8 of sort of Michaux's group stopped kind of back while Michaux sort of kept going to sort of like greet you in a way.
Yeah. I guess I'll hurry
in no
to
way,
meet
shape,
him.
or form does Michaux seem aggressive or threatening in any.
Okay. I guess I rush to greet him.
Yeah. And okay, so I'm going to say that you get to him 1st. And he says, Joy.
Hey.
Gonna have a word with your companions, if you don't mind.
As you're
Yeah, sure.
as you're
want me to introduce you?
as you're greeting and you're
No,
talking,
I've met them before. Thank you.
Farron just pushes past you and grabs Michaux and throws him up against a tree, and is like, "Why the fuck did you attack us?"
And
His wife was yelling.
Yeah,
yeah,
Tep
and
is not
so
aggressive, but he's behind you just holding his staff. But
Yeah.
he's not like...
and it's not like
He's just
it's not
wait,
erratic. Like Farron isn't gonna like take a hit,
Mhm.
but like if there's definitely there's definitely like a gesture of. I know that Michaux is bigger than I am,
Like,
but
hey, wait.
there's Farron
What?
doesn't care. This is like a point of like you were my friend, and like what is this? You know, like it's not
Michaux's
like
hands are up
Yeah.
like this, and has a little bit of a shocked look
Yeah.
on his face.
Farron's like there's an offended.
Sure.
Like I know I'm not going to do any damage.
Sure,
but
and Michaux says, "Okay, so you're going to have to explain to me what you mean."
you were firing at us.
Brother, we
I
saw
was?
you. Berg saw you.
Yeah, it was you.
You shot Time and almost killed her.
Mm-hmm.
And if I hadn't climbed a freaking tree,
That is the
you would have
mother
killed me as well.
of my
Time
child.
in the distance, you see that all 8
There's a little
of
bit
the others
normative
just sort of scatter.
situation.
Like the moment that Farron like slams him up against a tree.
Scatter as in they are like fanning out and going around, or are they just like, do they disappear into the direction?
They disappeared into the forest.
Okay.
They stealthed.
Okay.
You can no longer see them.
And I, like, it might not have been you, Michaux, but you were with the people that were firing at us, and we were with the last of the Moonjaw. I can't understand why you would fire on your own people.
He says, "Okay, so let's back up, and I'm just going to say, whatever you saw, that wasn't me.
What's going on here?
I've been trying to figure out what's going on within the Kashar, and I think that I finally landed on something, and I'm going to go find out what it is. But for right now, can you please take your hands off me?"
Where are you going?
He says,
Let him go.
I mean, he backs down. It's fine.
"I'm not sure I should tell you.
Why?
Because the the one that you let into the Kashar Forest and you let in to mingle with our people is the reason why the chaos exists as it is right now.
Michaux, you know we did not let her in. The Mycelian pulled us in. We were prisoners in a skyship. We had no control of landing here.
Yeah, but you have some level of control over your own. And you let them leave the Blackfang Forest to go to the Blackfang village to go to another village where they completely disrupted one of our greatest rituals. He says, I mean, shouldn't I be the one slamming you up against the tree? And then he kind of like gently but forcibly removes your hands.
Okay.
So
he says, whatever you saw,
I had backed down.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Because Joy was like, hey, back down. And I was like, okay.
Sparky ran away. Sparky was possessed by, what was her evil gross
Lich
grandpa's
Buckley.
name? Yeah, this Lich Buckley.
Lich?
And also, Sparky was
I
never
feel like you guys could have told me about
became
this a
one
little
of the
earlier
Black
than this.
Fang.
Oh, I see.
They were not part of our village. They just
Don't you see
lived
that?
on the
Don't
tail.
you see that this is the reason why our people don't mingle with the outsiders?
Yes, of
Is
course.
because they make up excuses for their own failure. And we can't
Except-
be like that.
Michaux, you cannot put a halfling's failure, that one halfling's failure on these people. These people have been working to right that failure since the Black Fang realized something was wrong. We are who were sent. We saved Faye and the rest of your people.
You can tell he's not listening anymore. Like he's rolled his eyes in there and it's just like blah, blah, blah. And he says, why don't you go talk more while I go do something about it? And
All
then
right,
he
go get yourself killed.
begins to walk away. And he says,
You
what? And when
come
he
with us and we can fix it together.
and when as he's walking away, he says, mark my words, a new era is coming. And then and he just sort of like,
You one of the male rights orcs? Do we just need to kill them out right now?
Whoa.
and he keeps walking.
Whoa. Second act of penance. That's what I say.
Berger's like, I got your back.
Whoa. Hold on. I got a baby now. Can we
Michaux,
chill out?
He's
a little
walking.
bit?
He's leaving. You want to like run and catch up to him?
I'll try.
You can.
Like half-heartedly, yeah.
Sure.
Or I guess not half-hearted, but like not give chase.
Yeah.
All right. Gonna give him the cure wounds potion and be like, potion. Be like, best of luck.
He winks at you. Accepting it.
It was the shittiest one we had. It's cool.
I know. But I'm still like, gave away one of our resources.
You've heard me share the resources.
Newbies.
Also, I would
Kidding.
have rather that you brought my show back. Because we could use an extra buff.
It's fine. Not very sharp.
So you get into the Blackfang village. So first of all, you see a number of Blackfang and Moonjaw kind of intermingling. You know, they have their own distinct, tribal marks to the point where you can kind of tell who's who.
Yeah, this.
Well, no, you mean the sunrays?
Yeah.
The sunrays are the one thing that kind of spans each, all three tribes.
Mhm.
Okay.
That's like a listening,
Yeah.
connected to the Mycelian
Oh, okay.
thing.
Yeah.
I couldn't
so,
remember if that was a.
You're kind of wondering why Ferg has one.
Mhm.
You also, once you get past the hallucinatory terrain that kind of protects the outer village, you realize that they are on high alert. They so fucking, whoa, you're here.
Alert!
Alert!
I just
God
assumed-
damn.
I assume Ferg did
I'm on
something
that alert
heroic,
level
which is
right
why they
now.
have the sunray.
Yeah.
So you get into the village, and
don't know much about Mark
the
Sparky.
moment they see you, they drop their guard and
tell.
they say, "Have you heard the news? The Moonjaw decimated.
Yes, we saved the last of them. Please tell me Faye and the last have arrived before us.
They are here. Although
Oh,
there were
thank
there were
God.
complications.
Does anyone need help?
No, I mean, everything's under control now. You should
Did Sparky do something again?
talk to Ramolg.
Where is Sparky, by the way?
She was
Came back with Faye.
They were with
Here.
Faye.
We're good babysitters. I go find my baby.
I need to
with
talk to
Ramolg?
Sparky.
Yeah.
But I can do that after these
But
guys.
I'm just saying
deal
that's
with their
my
thing.
fucking priority.
I go to talk to Ramolg and I
Okay.
try to bring everyone with me if they can.
So it sounds like everybody's splitting up a little bit.
Okay.
You're going to Ramolg.
Mm-hmm.
Where are you going?
I'm going to go get Jasper.
Bebe. So you guys are going to get the bebe. You're going to.
I would like to
I'm
invite
gonna
Zoe
go.
to...
I'm trying to find out where Sparky is.
Well, how do you know Sparky?
'Cause they were talking about it
Okay.
just a moment ago.
Okay.
They were talking about Sparky being the vessel for a lich. And as a life cleric, that's real interesting to me.
Okay, sorry.
That's fair.
I'm gonna go to Ramal because I've got some daggers, and I'm pretty sure Zeph will be there too. So
Okay, so I'm gonna start with the bebe.
Le bebe.
Baby.
So remind me who was watching Jasper.
Ramolg.
Ramolg. This actually works out really well.
Yeah.
Got it. So
We're going to the same place.
so through a little bit of trial and error, you realize that in the perfect it takes a village model, Jasper has been sort of passed off from like orc to orc, and so you sort of follow that breadcrumb trail until it leads you to a.
I would say
Beautiful little half elf.
kind of like how in Inuit language, like there's like a ton of words for snow. Like I imagine in Orcish there's like a bunch of different words for mother, and so for especially like the matriarchal society, like so many different shades of like mother and mothers and like
Mommy.
I don't know. I think that'd be really intriguing, and so in the sense of like that communal being passed around in different different mothers in different
so you
stages.
just call everyone.
No, I would like the shades to the language. I think that's kind of cool.
So you get to in a certain spot, and Jensen, the outsider parents are here, and so a smaller orcish man comes up holding Jasper. It's good to see you. Here's the baby. You must be missing her. And hands over. She has a little bit of a rot gut from newborns. They have that. She's got horrible gas, but it's working itself out. Lots of changes. Let me tell you, lots of.
Time kind of like inspects her lightly, like thanks the person, and basically kind of like checks to see if baby's hungry, kind of thing. And
you hear over your shoulder, "Oh my God, she's so beautiful." We look alike. You know that. That's what we're.
Whoa! That's a brain breaker.
And but Jasper is just cooing,
like a half-elf
cooing
plant,
gently,
so
just waking up from a nap.
Plant?
The moment Jasper, touches your arms, she panics a little bit, but then quickly dies down. Yeah, and is fucking hungry.
Yeah, no, I settled her kind of
you
like
haven't eaten in
into a
2
nook
weeks.
and we'll pop my robe around her and carry her with me.
Yeah.
Junebug vacates.
Yeah.
You're like,
actually,
I'm beating the
back
baby
at Bird.
on this side.
Back at Hawk Zone now, since we've been traveling through the forest. So
Okay.
Yep.
So you all get
Your baby's hungry. You gotta feed her first.
Yeah, you get settled in. You connect with your child for a little bit, kind of passing back from like Feyren to you, and she seems to be a little bit more keener than your average child. Is it a half-elven thing? Is it that's it in their genes?
She's always been that way.
Well,
We'll always be that way.
that's adorable considering she was just born.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Wait, you're serious? Okay, I'll take my leave now.
Wait until she starts playing pranks. It'll be obnoxious.
Yeah. Anything specifically you wanted to do with Jin?
You mean Jasper?
Jasper, thank you. Thank you. So many J's,
I
so little
said
time.
off with the hawk.
Yeah, I know.
Carry it away.
Don't drop it.
Social hawk.
It's like
really
reverse stork.
adorable,
So,
The secret ending to Lady Hawk.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what I would
God.
do. What specific thing I would do.
Yeah.
with Jasper.
Hey, I just want to open it up to anything because I wouldn't know.
I would say we go to rejoin the group. I'm just gonna have like Jasper with me.
Okay.
Like, while we're there. As the time kind of like gets a little closer to you in this like family moment.
So in the meantime,
Is it time?
you
every time.
Jesus.
in the meantime,
No.
you go to find Sparky. And Sparky is within a specific yurt that is heavily guarded. And being who you are, when you approach the yurt, the guards step in front and say, "Who the fuck are you?"
My name is Experience. It's okay. I'm a life cleric. I hold up my little holy symbol.
And what exactly is okay? Still blocking your way.
I'm gonna poke at this
This-
person.
This person contains a lich, right? For this person, no,
Not anymore.
it contained.
Yes.
This person was a phylactery.
We don't know the details about that. You'll have to talk to Ramal.
No, I do though. I know how this works.
Are you with the Outsiders?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if Ramal would be okay with you talking to this one. I mean, she's fucking blind. You're not going to get much information out of her. She didn't see anything.
Okay. I mean, I do not wish to step over any bounds. I don't want to tread on anyone's feet. I will back down. I just wish to see what was happening.
Mm-hmm. So a little bit about my DM style. I will, for lack of a better term, I will bully and badger you with my NPCs. But if you wish to switch their point of view, then as a player, you would have to be like, I want to do like a diplomacy check or a persuasion check, or I want to like lie to
Just
them and
bully
say,
him back till he says your diplomacy check's better.
yeah. Well, yeah. But in this case, if you wanted to basically switch their point of view, a persuasion check would be needed.
Okay.
Yeah. So feel free to roll that now. But in the future, if you don't say, "Oh, I try to roll an insight check to see if they're lying," or whatever, like I'm just gonna roll on with what I got.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Go for it.
Yeah. Like, okay, so this person.
Persuasion check.
I'm trying to
You
get
have,
some
you have
flavor
to roll
text.
before you can persuade them.
Oh, okay. No. That's 17.
17. Okay. So how do you convince them?
If this person did have an undead being inside of themselves, there could be harm that you can't see on the outside, that you can't find without the knowledge of the magic behind how this happens.
Do you think Ramalg thought of that? I don't know.
Is Ramalg a priest?
Well, she's a druid, and so they get into a debate, and they suddenly sort of almost convince themselves that maybe the Blackfang village at large is at risk.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he is a life cleric. They may know things that she does. Oh, okay. You got 5 minutes.
Okay.
But I mean, any more than that, we can get in trouble.
Oh, I will be a minute.
Okay. So you go in. The inside of the yurt is a little bit of a different scene. Outside the yurt was very sort of like on guard, holding outsiders at bay, that kind of thing. The inside, there are two orcs that are I don't know, kind of nannies of a sort. They both are tending to a small, child at first, but then you quickly realize that this is a halfling. And they literally have no eyes. Their eyes are out of their sockets.
We call that gouge, Bill.
We call that gouge.
Call that plucked out, cut off.
Yeah. And
Druids.
And I would say at this point, like, the eyes are not covered up. They're just kind of
no patches,
bandaged. Just out and about.
Out and about gouge.
And Sparky is trying to, I don't know, stay entertained and busy by like a series of, I don't know, blocks and pieces of wood and this and that. Really, like, you're looking around and there's really not much to do in here. And it's very clear that they're holding her captive, but in a humane way. And
I approve. These guys get 1 life cleric point.
And so you go into the tent, and when you go in there, Sparky says, "Who is that? I don't recognize that voice, and you don't have an orc-ish voice."
My name is Experienced Joy Within Sorrow. Who are you? What's your name?
Spartacus. Well, yeah.
Spartacus. It is good to meet you. And may I like reach toward to like pick up their hand to shake it, and like, so I guess ask the nurse's permission.
They sort of nod in approval.
Yeah, I gently take Spartacus's hand and then like hold it in my own and shake it.
Do you know Keth and Ferg and them?
Oh yeah, I came here with them.
Are they here?
Yes, they're
We
meeting
got
with
another small human.
they're meeting with some of the others in the village. So
House Faye. They won't really tell me anything, but I heard she was hurt.
That's not
Faye's the druid. You don't know Faye.
Yeah.
You know nothing.
Yeah, I was like,
She's the
Faye
Moonjaw
Wren?
champion. She's
No.
the Moonjaw champion.
Faye, the Moonjaw tribal champion. I think they say.
I haven't met her.
It's like my height. They say.
I'm also like your height, so.
Oh wow. Oh, are you a dwarf?
Yeah.
Whoa.
I guess the lack of beard kind of
What are you
hid that from
doing?
you.
What are you
touching
doing
your face.
here?
Yeah, I mean,
You're 2 feet.
well, you know, I'm being gentle.
Roughly the same size.
I'm a cleric, and I'm here to
No,
just
you're
make sure that you are doing okay. You had something very dangerous inside of you, and I want to make sure that that is gone and you won't hurt.
Yeah.
She just stops talking. Seems sort of despondent.
Spartacus, are you all right? It's okay. You're safe.
No, I'm not all right. Look at me.
I can do something about this. I can try.
This isn't something that goes back. It's all his fault.
Whose fault?
He lied to me.
Hey,
Buckley.
Buckley? Is that the name of the monster?
Monster. I guess he is now. And he also took away one of my best friends.
That's okay. You're in a safe place now.
That's what they tell me.
Which is Sparky's best friend.
When you can't see anything, no place is safe.
Okay, so out of character, I'm gonna see if a lesser restoration.
So I'm
Does
gonna
restore
say
blindness.
I'm gonna say before You even cast it. It would restore blindness if they still had eyes, but her eyes are completely plucked out.
You need greater to restore body parts.
You would basically be the spell regeneration.
Yeah.
That's what would restore her actual organs of eyesight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's some fucking druids around here that have that spell.
Yeah, but none of them are that powerful. Regeneration is like an 8th level spell.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
damn.
high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
I can get that eventually, but
did Dothborn Kesha?
Well, she's permanently a bear.
That's true.
And also, not necessarily. Well, I guess she's.
Yeah. I mean, all the Kesha.
But maybe not that type of druid.
Yeah.
If we're the more militant.
I
that's
wonder, side note, could like alter self replace eyes for a temporary period of time in the same way like polymorph sort of would? Or like you could grow gills, or not important for this moment. I'm just like, this was a
Curious,
nerd
yeah.
conversation.
yeah. So like
of,
polymorph,
what if-
like if you only had one leg and then polymorph yourself to look like someone who had 2 legs, would it look like you have 2 legs, but functionally you still only have 1?
Actually, we have played around with this
Yeah.
on our Saturday group. So my bard, Nick, has 1 arm. But every time I polymorph, I basically grow another arm. So it is actually a temporary way to get a limb back.
have
The
eyes as an aid.
argument could be made for eyes.
But
Okay.
it definitely is not a long.
There's a lot of stump
solution.
strumming going on Saturdays.
Yeah.
Okay.
You never stump from
Bard's main loot.
once when I show up on Saturdays.
He'll do all that on because it takes a full round for him.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. I'm going to. Is it okay if I take a look? I want there was something very bad inside you, and I want to make sure it didn't take anything while it was in there.
Save your strength. He's gone.
Yes, but I want to make sure you are not.
Whatever.
All right. Just gonna. Would that be religion? I don't know. Arcana?
Yeah.
Which one?
Religion.
How do you roll for the soul bowl, Bill?
Yeah.
Soul Bowl.
Soul bowl.
16.
It was too many olds.
16 to
Just make
check
it
the
run.
wholeness of the soul,
So
or the force, or whatever we have.
it's an interesting a couple of things that as you sort of inspect Sparky, and really it's sort of a meditative process. It's not like you're not like checking her body.
Yeah,
you're actually just sort of like connecting to her spirit.
Mhm.
And
I'm
while
bullseyeing
while
his
while
Rorschach
she
test.
and while she
You dick.
and while she is full of life, what she is bereft of is there's something missing from her, and you actually can't tell what that is.
Sparkless Sparky.
Oh.
So
Something.
yeah, you're uncertain as to what it is. You just know that there's a gap in there somewhere. You also know that they lack any sort of like malignant spirits or whatever. There's no remnants of whatever they were talking about. She mentioned the name Buckley, or Buckley.
Okay.
No spirits possessing her, nothing like that. Yeah. Yeah.
What's that?
Bogglon.
That's me.
You should quit smoking.
No, I was gonna say I don't even smoke. I don't even get the fun part.
I just transfer my smoker's cough to you.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
That is some lit shit right there.
Boom.
Right? Yeah, can I inspect on you yourself?
Boom.
2.
Lung shot. So
Spartacus. Thank you.
for what? You. All I wanted to do was help Farron, and
I know.
look at what I got.
That.
Help you.
I'm not there right now.
No, you're not.
No, I'm just
okay.
wondering
feeling
if it was
annoyed.
actually fair or if it's like how we saw in the show. You know what I mean? That's meta.
Oh.
Continue, Bill.
Okay. I know that this sucks, and that not being able to see is kind of the worst.
I can't see. We're never getting out of here, and now they have my aunt imprisoned. And
Your aunt.
I don't even know.
Sorry, Zed.
I don't even know. Let's cut to the scene.
Yeah,
of
I'm
you
leaving
two.
at this point. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
after wishing them well,
you work your way into the Dothborn Kesha yurt.
Okay.
Am I even allowed inside?
No one stops you when you enter with Kath.
Okay. Weird, because I've never been.
Yep. And
I think over like the years, it's less like weird that Ramal's a bear now, so she's like seeing more people.
Well, I'm also not in.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, initially she like literally wasn't seeing anybody but me and Zeph.
Yeah.
so you walk in, you pass 2 guards, you pass 2 more guards, and then you pass Zeph.
High fives.
And well, Zeph definitely doesn't high five, but the equivalent of high five. For sure.
Low five and high five.
No, he greets you with a warrior's greeting.
Yeah. No, that's what I meant. It was just easier.
Oh, do you guys do like the brother
totally.
wrist shake? No,
And
you guys do you guys do the predator bicep high five.
so he nods and he says,
It's good to see you both back.
Yeah, it's been fucked. How much have you heard?
heard? Well, we've heard much, but we've experienced much.
Oh shit.
When Sparky returned,
Shit.
your beloved Lucy July went crazy on Faye and almost incinerated her.
Didn't think about that.
Do I have to kill Lucy? Because Faye's my people.
I owe you now. I told you when we got safe. I was
If it were up to me, I'd say have at it.
You do kind of owe her.
Quite frankly, and I mean no offense, I don't think you could actually take this July. He's a very powerful spellcaster,
I
and
know.
I'd be hard pressed to say if I could win a one-on-one. He's incredibly powerful.
Some of my clients.
Does she have a regenerate spell?
Yeah, okay.
I don't think she's that high.
So we have her under lockdown with protective circles reversed so that she may not leave.
That's
Like inverted circle.
probably a really good idea.
But it's taking up some of our resources. We have 4 druids maintaining that circle, and quite frankly,
She's like,
they could be doing other things.
Yeah.
I
Other
love
than
just picturing Zed trying to break out of this like prison, like little fuse ball, like Sandman type prison.
And you hear Ramalg's voice in back that says,
We value life more than we value convenience, Zeph. You know this.
Ramal, we're not sure about Lady. Already beat her legs.
and Ramalg says,
My decision stands.
as the big old grizzly bear like walks up.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me what you know. There is so much going on right now. You took a while getting back. I imagine that you swung around to the Ironbacks. They left.
Are the Ironbacks here?
No, not yet.
That's a little troubling.
Not really. They take their time meandering. No secrets in my yurt.
I mean, I thought
That
you
was
heard
over.
that.
That was over.
That was like an aside.
Yeah.
It was a loud whisper.
Sorry you can't see the I'm just kidding face on my bear face.
I have found
I tried to
that
wink.
over the years, your bear expressions are very hard to read.
They're
But
barely there.
You may leave now.
You get mauled.
That one kind of hurt to say out loud. I was like, ooh, that's
I
like
was
a
just
dad joke.
sort of digging at the Ironbacks
Sort
as
of?
much as they're
Sort of hurt.
part of
It was a bear mom
our
joke.
people. They do like to take pretty walks with their
Definitely.
pretty thing.
They're dainty tusks.
I still think it's really cool that they carve their teeth.
Oh, I think it's amazing too. I think it's cool. Keth wouldn't do it, but it's cool.
Ramal's just
If I had tusks, I would do it. That's why I
What
thought
the
of it.
fuck are you teenagers talking about?
Are you going to say something substantial? Or
Sorry,
are we just
tusk carving.
What?
I mean, I don't know.
So yeah, we saved.
Hey, Mom, is that
How much
okay
did
if-
Faye tell you? Because
Is it okay with
apparently
Discord?
Sparky and Buckley fucked up the ritual and turned most of the Moonjaws into these blobtar things that are real gross and like they made Kath real sick.
Ugh, I almost died.
And then we ran into Michaux, and Michaux said that they didn't run into us and fired arrows at us, and like Burry's just like spelling out the entire story really fast and a little disjointed.
And out of the shadows, you hear, "Wait, what did I do?" And out comes Michelle.
How is there another you?
We just ran into you
Okay, hang on. Wait a second.
No.
Michelle, listen for a second.
with like
Farron
9 other
slammed you
people.
against a tree. You're with 9 other people. You said you didn't shoot us and try to kill us. Okay, so that was the fake Michelle. Wait, hang on.
Or there's many.
Well,
hang on.
there's more than one fake Michelle. I blame Buckley.
I blame Buckley as well.
Okay,
But hang on,
everyone
Michelle.
slow down. Ramalg says,
Exactly. There must be clarity.
What if this one's not the real Michelle? Zeph, I think you should grab Michelle just for the minute. We've run into multiple of him, and one of them tried to attack us.
Zeph does this half-hearted He just goes onto Michelle's shoulder. Just puts his hand on his shoulder.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be like a mean thing, just like I don't know what's gonna happen, right?
And Michaux says, okay, wait. I can give you details about, our meeting, how we met. I mean,
Yeah, but I mean that information could be extracted.
this is
Also, we didn't ask. So we don't know. How to
This is true.
Oh, I've got it. What food did you leave us in that care package when you first saw us in the Kashar Forest?
Oh.
and so
Whatever you say can be the right answer, just so you know. But Keth
Don't
would
say that to him.
But Keth would remember. I'm telling this to Bill OOC, but I'm just telling Bill. I don't actually remember what the food was. But if you want it to be right, it can be right. If you want it to be wrong, it can be wrong.
it was a double-stacked kutha with elderberries inside of it, just to make it nice and sweet, but
real
still has
Michelle.
that tangy kind of thing. And I knew you'd get
sound
there.
fresh.
I knew you'd get there soon, so it was nice and fresh.
I love orcs.
Okay, yes, that's exactly what you left us.
I told you. The question is, who did you think was me?
So on our way to the
Let's-
Moonjaws, we ran into you and some other people that we couldn't really see. I know.
On the way back from the Moonjaws, you mean? Like
No,
leaving the
When we were leaving
Moonjaws.
the first time around. When we were exiting with the caravan.
It was on the last day before you got to the Blackfangs. Back.
Oh, wait,
on the last-
which
Oh,
meeting
just
are
a
you
moment ago.
talking
We're talking about the one
I'm
we
talking about
attacked
the
us.
very
Oh.
first one.
Right. So that was when we left the Moonjaw with Faye and all the orcs after we were trying to exit, and then we split with them.
No, that wasn't me either.
So Baron didn't put an arrow through your thigh because I watched that.
And he pulls up his sort of like half pants and looks at his thigh. He shows you both his thighs.
Mhm.
He's like, I don't have an arrow scar. And
So-
you mentioned that there were, and this is, you may not have mentioned it, but I am extrapolating that you may have mentioned the energy bolts.
Mhm.
He's like,
Oh,
yeah, I don't fire energy bolts.
That's a
You know
good
who
point.
does fire energy bolts? Fucking liches.
That's true. It just get stitches.
Rom.
One can only
Who's
hope.
Rom?
Who's Rom? Why do I know that name?
Problems is about.
You never heard.
Oh no.
I know Rom though.
You know Rom.
Also, you
I'm
were
just not
kind
in your
of
room.
Here.
in a weird
Not in the.
Speak
free
up.
the Kashar
Rom.
mood when we met you, and not in a good way. Just throwing that out there.
I have to go. I'm not leaving. I mean, I'm not leaving the village, but I have to go. I will be back.
I don't think you should be.
No.
able to go-
I'm not leaving the village. I just need to center my thoughts for a second. I give you my word. I give you my word. You are my allies, and I'm not leaving. but I have to just touch base with Ramolg. That's why you're here. I'll give you more information as I formulate.
In Ferg's head, they're inclined to believe, because both Zeph and Ramal are in the room, and one or the other would definitely have some insight into whether this was the real Michaux or not.
So Zeph takes his hand off of Michaux's shoulder, and Michaux says, just repeats again, I'm not leaving. And then
like quick warrior handshake as
This sort of scary movie. Michaux would die in the next scene.
No,
I'll be right back.
Yeah,
So-
I'm not leaving. I am not
I
leaving.
got something really important to tell you, but I have to go somewhere.
And then we like don't see
real
Michaux,
quick.
and then somebody tries to go in the shed to get like a frisbee or something. And yeah.
Somebody's doing laundry. Before the detergent out comes Michaux.
Oh my god, gross.
So we tell Ramalg a more coherent story of what actually happened, what we saw, step by step. Bird keeps a diary and like, no, this is what happened on this day. This is what we did. This is where we were attacked.
Well,
We explained what happened with the elder.
Faye is still recovering. She was practically immolated by the July.
God, I hate this so much.
You should have
I dislike her
done the
intensely as
bad
well.
things while you had the chance.
I
You should have fed her legs.
Things.
Left in the crack of
I don't know if we really ever had a chance.
It is the way it is.
We had 5 years of chances. Thank you very much.
She
She,
was so sad.
Ugh.
if it were up to me, I would expel her from the forest.
We can't.
Yes.
I was recently thinking, what if I transformed her into a rabbit and shoved her over the other side and then transformed her back into a...
Or just leave her as a rabbit for the rest of
Or
her
just
life.
leave her as a rabbit for the rest of her life. And let nature decide what
Transform
what
her
happens
into like
to her.
some beef jerky.
Unfortunately,
Lapin.
polymorph spells don't work like that.
The first or the latter.
A little bit of both. The
I don't see the
Kashar,
magics.
the Kashar can see through those transformations.
Good to know that wouldn't have worked for us, because that probably would have hurt to try.
So, leaving Lady July aside for a second, our friend Time has the Kesha Young's belt now. And we were thinking that maybe with Zeph's dagger, that could help the five of us continue our mission. Save the Kashar, so we can leave the Kashar.
You see Zeph's face get a little indignant as he sort of pieces together like what you're actually like, suggesting.
Yeah, no, I mean Zeph, we're totally asking. Not going to take forever.
Oh, you are absolutely not taking my dagger.
Yeah, you see what it did to me when I accidentally touched it?
As it should. That's the way it always is. And
You can't even touch it. Can Zeph touch it?
No.
Yeah.
No. Ramalg kind of puts her paw down like really firmly on the ground and says,
Ferg just sits down and is like, shutting up.
Zeph, this dagger can always be yours, but you can gift it to these fine outsiders that have deemed to help us in our time of need.
and Zeph just sort of
At some point, we've probably got up outside the tent, gathered the kid.
I do want this back.
and
It looks real
oh,
good.
do you now? You're like walking in kind of on this.
If they'll let us
conversation?
inside, sure.
Does
But
it-
like,
Can we ask her Mulg if she knows anything about the Citadel being under cracks?
The what?
The Citadel.
Oh, I
Citadel.
thought you said Citadel.
you did.
I have a tongue piercing, guys. I'm trying really hard not to fucking like
Yeah.
fuck all of
Do you know anything about the Citadel?
the Citadel?
Well, also, he did just say kids, so.
Yeah.
That's why
Kids ago.
Also, yeah, that's what I call it in my head ever since I was a kid and I read, and it's like one of those things I have to autocorrect when I say it out
Like
loud.
gibberish.
So when I'm having trouble.
Gibberish. Nice.
Call it out. That was good.
No, that's totally one of the things that I tend to autocorrect.
Although Connor is always right about everything.
No, I was
Canon.
according to
Canon.
every dictionary, I was clearly wrong about that.
Connor knows all the language things.
Canon.
Okay, so
I really don't know all of the language.
So
things.
Zeph says, the truth is, the only thing that I'm going to lose if I never get this back is my... And takes off his sort of belt that has the dagger kind of along the small of his back and takes it off and looks at all of you and as you're walking in sees that you have the belt and he just says, to this one?
Yes.
She's willing to take it.
Are you willing to take it?
You want me to take the baby first?
Yeah, like I gotta pass the child off
right.
for a moment.
I don't know if this is going to work. And
Seamless parent.
passes you the sort of a belt with a little thing
Basically.
hanging there. And
And then I just
I have it
seamlessly
upstairs.
knit it up
But,
together.
And I'm like, yes.
I would say
Yes,
like
honey baby. Sorry, we're enjoying
Kath has
playing
the
with
baby.
Going insane out here.
I would say like time takes the
We'll
the knife by the sheath
I'm just
and kind of like
kicking
has
dirt
her hand
outside the
like, which has like the scar on it as before and kind of goes like takes it and like grabs the hilt.
Bring lets out a really uncharacteristic meat.
the hilt actually reacts in the exact same way it has always done before, except in the blink of an eye, it just goes right back to being the solid state dagger that it really should be. As if it for a moment did not recognize you as a dwarf. And then it did.
Any blood?
What's that?
Any blood?
No blood whatsoever. You saw the hilt of the claws just sort of like reaching for your flesh, but then it just went right back to its normal solid state, and you're immediately inundated with all of this knowledge of what the dagger does. And that's where we will end tonight.
No, I want to know what the dagger does.
Your pencil
And
is
you'll find out in
poised.
2 weeks when we return.
Well, okay,
Question mark.
yeah, and I'm gonna, next week's gonna be fun. And by next week I mean the week after that. So next week we are not meeting for our normal game day.
Bill has an amazing show to go to.
I've got an amazing
Hell yeah.
show to go
We're
to.
super excited for him.
Thanks.
It's gonna be hella fun.
It's gonna be great.
Please do lots of drugs.
I may. I'm undecided. I'm going with a person that would it would be fun to do lots of drugs with. So we'll see. I mean, Daniel the floater.
Oh yeah, fuck
So,
yeah.
yeah.
Daniel's great.
He's out there.
Well, he's not a floater anymore. Did you know
Because honestly,
he's our new
Daniel's
lead?
Oh right,
It's not like I don't know if it's like officially everybody knows, but everybody knows.
Wait, like an assistant?
Everyone knows.
What do you
So
mean?
yeah, no game next week.
Like a prepared
Um,
food thing.
Oh, I see.
Daniel knows.
And then we'll most likely the week after the 4th of July have a half a session, and I'm sure everybody's going to tune in for that
One
one.
week of 4th of July.
What's that?
The week after, which is 4th of July.
Yeah.
Yes, the week
Yes,
after, which is 4th of July.
Or
Yeah.
the week after 4th of July. I was like,
Yeah, I probably said that. And then
said the
from
week
there on,
after,
I think
comma,
we'll be
4th of
on
July.
a regularly scheduled game. I think that Shanna is going to bow out after 4th of July, and you're taking a trip to where? You know.
All over the
Rica.
place.
Well, but like you have kind of a main destination, don't you?
Sort of.
Martha's Vineyard.
I was gonna
Upstate
say
New York
Maine,
is
but
the first destination, and then
Mhm.
TBD.
TBD.
Is
But I mean, that's a loose first destination because it's like going to take 2.5 weeks to get there, and that's going to be its own adventure.
yeah.
Right. Well, we are going to miss you. We'll still get you for a little bit of the 4th, and then we're having a half session because we're planning on just kind of like being together as a group outside of the game and celebrating Shanna and celebrating the group with Shanna and like just all that
I
stuff.
have so much to prepare for.
Well, I mean that's spoiler alert. Come on.
Maybe it's not for.
I'm gonna.
Shanna.
Oh my gosh! I'm gonna bring you Walter.
Oh yeah, Walter. I get to take care of Walter.
You get to take care of Walter.
I will not kill Walter. I promise.
My air plant that's named after the problems that have occurred in the past when I drink too much alcohol.
Yep. You've actually done a remarkable job curbing
I
that,
haven't Waltered since we established that Walter exists within me.
Yeah.
Is that like your like drunk persona or something?
Yeah, like it's Walter. What's his last name?
Kolchak.
Well,
Solcheck.
I become Walter Solcheck from The Big Lebowski if I drink too much in the past.
You're not wrong, just an asshole.
But I haven't.
When I drink a lot of vodka.
The last time I Waltered was when we went to Lincoln City together.
That is a knowing face.
But that was a long time ago.
Not
That was
saying
last
it.
October. That's the last time I've Waltered. That's a long.
Character sheets, friends.
I kind of feel like it's sort of. I mean, not that I won't Walter again, but I don't think I'll Walter with close friends and lovers.
So I got one more thing to say before we sign out, and that is to all of our patrons, Evie included in this mix. So I just want to say thank you so much. Just today, we hit over the $200 marker per month, and that is really, really. I mean, quite frankly, it's helping me pay down the debt for all this stuff. So I very much appreciate all of you. Thank you so much. And we just love doing this. And I don't know, I feel so modest right now. Thank you.
We love doing this. Support Bill.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, and and we're discussing other shows to happen in the near future. Yes. One of which I think we've finally actually set a date for Will's sci-fi campaign. So
be still my heart.
Yeah.
So
you want to be part of it?
No, I don't want to play any other games.
So things are happening in that regard, and we're moving forward with that. So thank you so much for supporting us. Please give us a follow on Twitch and a subscribe on YouTube and all of the social media who's-y what's-its. And see you later. Bye for now.
Bye.
Auf Wiedersehen.